You guys have seen on the internet the trends of people taking normal, cheap vodka, putting it through a Brita filter, and creating a better vodka, apparently. Is that true? Does that actually work? Today we are going to be talking all about this and testing it out. I am Mishak Malley, and welcome to the Morning Mocha. Okay, so recently on the internet, the trend has popped up again where people take cheap vodka, like this Smirnoff, they put it through a Brita filter, and they claim that it makes it taste like better vodka. That's not entirely true, and let's talk about exactly why. So let's back up in terms of talking about just how vodka is made in general, right? So usually vodka is made from some kind of distilled grain, like wheat or rye or corn. It can also come from certain fruits and vegetables, right? You've heard of vodka being made out of potatoes. But what is vodka, right? It is a clear liquor with no distinct flavor. That's the key thing, right? Vodka should not have a particular flavor. So the quality of the vodka is characterized on how pure it is. The fewer impurities that are in it, the smoother it is. Those impurities are the things that you taste. Those are the flavors. So the more smooth it is, the fewer impurities, the more clean, the more smooth it tastes. So the ideal, perfect vodka would just be water and ethanol. Just pure water and ethanol is kind of a complicated procedure to get, and so most vodka contains at least some impurities. So, some people claim that the Brita filter can filter out some of those impurities. Kind of, and not really. Let's talk about exactly why. When you make vodka, there are two different ways that vodka is purified. These two ways are called distillation and filtration. Distillation is where you boil a liquid and collect it again. Maybe you've seen this, maybe you did this in science class, where you take salt water, you distill the salt water, meaning that you boil it off and then you recondense the water. And what you get is the salt does not boil, the salt stays behind, and you're able to recondense the water. And so you're able to get pure water out of salt water by just distilling it, right? This is the process of distillation. You're boiling something and then you're collecting it as a vapor and recondensing it back into a liquid. So when you're distilling vodka, you need to think about three different boiling points that the liquid exists in, right? So you have this thing that has all the impurities in it. There are three different boiling points. There's what we call the head. So this is the lowest boiling point that contains most of the impurities. There is the heart. This is the middle boiling point that includes the ethanol. This is the good stuff. This is the stuff that you want. And then there's the tail. This is the highest boiling point. This is what boils off first. And this is mostly water with some minor unwanted byproducts, right? So distillation occurs and you are attempting to just capture what's in the middle. You're attempting to just capture the heart of the vodka. And so the goal is just to get that heart without getting the head or the tail. This is really hard to do, right? The specificity of the temperature, the specificity of the equipment, it's tough to just get the heart of the vodka. You usually end up getting some of the head or some of the tail. So what higher end vodkas do is they end up distilling it multiple times, right? Imagine one time you distill it, you're able to get off some of the head and some of the tail. You do it again, you're able to get off a little bit more on both sides, until after a number of distillations, you're able to get a purer, more specific vodka, right? It has fewer of those impurities because you've distilled it multiple times. So after vodka is distilled, then it is filtered through activated carbon or charcoal. This is the same stuff that's in a Brita filter, right? So this is where things start to wrap back around. So activated carbon or charcoal is what is in a Brita filter. But Britas are designed not necessarily to take out the impurities of alcohol, right? It's more stuff like chlorine, lead, mercury, benzene, asbestos, stuff that could be in your drinking water, right? That's what Britas are designed to do. So how does it work that putting vodka through a Brita filter might make it taste better? So it depends on the type of vodka, but it probably isn't going to work. This is why. So higher end vodka is distilled more. It's not filtered more. Vodka is distilled multiple times and then filtered once, right? A more rigorous distillation process yields a better, more pure alcohol, but usually not filtering it more. Filtering it once filters out everything that needs to be filtered out. However, depending on the type of alcohol, which depends on what impurities specifically are in it, and depending on the type of Brita filter, right, which means like what levels of activated charcoal are in there, what are all of the components that are in that Brita filter that are causing the filtration, right? You can look on Brita's website and they have a whole list of like different kinds of filters that are more rigorous, less rigorous. Depending on these two things, you can change the flavor of it, maybe for the better, but it's not guaranteed. Does that make sense? So today we're going to test it out. Let's give it a little bit of test here at the end of the episode. I am going to taste a little bit of the Smirnoff vodka without any distillation. So this is just plain Smirnoff number 21 vodka. Tastes like Smirnoff. Tastes like Smirnoff vodka, right? So now, and it burns. It like burns a little bit on the way down. It's not terrible. It's not great vodka. Should I put all of it through the Brita filter? Okay. So now, I'm going to be pouring this for science into here. Are we getting the shot, Finian? And again, right, it is filtering it. It's not distilling it. And generally, you know, there are certain impurities that can be taken out by filtering it. Most of the impurities are not going to be removed by simply filtering vodka. So we're going to let this kind of filter through. And see, my guess is that there's going to be a slight flavor change, right? Like the charcoal is filtering out something, but it's not making your vodka higher end. It might make your vodka taste better if you like the flavor of it filtered through a Brita filter better. But let's just give it another second while it filters the rest of this vodka through. All right. So let's pour a little of this Brita filtered vodka here. Just a touch. I really don't want to taste it. It's so gross. It's disgusting. Okay. All right, so now let's taste a little of the Smirnoff having gone through the Brita filter. It is better. I just gave that whole speech about how it doesn't work. It didn't burn at all. That's crazy. So, look, I'm actually a little impressed here. When I first tasted the Smirnoff, there was just this like burn that happened, like right when you have cheap alcohol, there's like this, and that was completely gone once I put it through the Brita filter. So I don't know exactly what was going on there. Apparently, filtering Smirnoff works. So, you know, everything that I said already in this episode is true. I don't really know what to tell you now. Now I'm lost. I just gave this whole spiel about, you know, Brita filters and vodka and how they work or don't work. And that just worked a little bit. So I'm not saying I just made Grey Goose, but I am saying that it did take off some of the burn of the Smirnoff. Would I do it again? Maybe. Now I have this Brita filter that is a vodka Brita filter for my house. So that'll just go in the cabinet. I'm going to write on this in Sharpie, vodka only. Okay. I don't know what to tell you, folks. Maybe try it out. I thought my message was going to be, there's no reason to do this. Dude, it's better. I can talk all day about science, but like purely anecdotally, I just made a better product. So, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I know I learned many things in this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new here. Click the bottom link to watch another episode of The Morning Mocha. Click the top link to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.